All right.
You know what I love? Matt Palmer has his laptop open in front of us right now, and in the top right corner it says images, which is all the photographs, I guess, that are on his computer.
On my desktop.
On your desktop. The first picture that's in front of everything else. It's this small, but I can see exactly what it is. And what is it? It is a picture of Brandy and Paolo Montalban, a production still from the Brandy Cinderella movie.
It's important to have that really accessible to me.
And on your desktop.
On my desktop.
And I love how I can recognize it when it's this big. That's 2K Mats in a nutshell.
Exactly.
For those of you who don't know.
If you ever needed our complete overlap, it is the Brandy production of Cinderella. Yeah, I love it. I won't be explaining.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another 2K Mats. It is Matt Steele.
And it's Matt Palmer.
And we haven't done a video like this in quite a while.
I couldn't believe how long it had been.
I know. If our boyfriends were insert artists' names, albums, and if our how do we describe it? If our boyfriends were so-and-so's album.
Yes.
Okay, that's a better way of explaining it.
And the theme of this is basically we're going through the discography of this week, Taylor Swift.
Yes.
And seeing if they were our boyfriends, like the albums themselves, what they represent to us in the oeuvre of Taylor Swift. What would they be like?
If they were our boyfriends.
If they were our boyfriends.
Yes, and the thing is, this can be based on anything. It can be based on what the album sounds like sonically.
Yes.
It can be based on what the artist is going through in their particular life at the moment. It can be how the album was received or like what the era looked like.
Yes.
Like it can be based on anything. These rules aren't real. We've done the previous artists we did were Mariah albums, Beyonce albums, Britney albums, and now Taylor Swift.
Oh, we did a Britney album?
We did, I think. Yeah.
All right, great.
Yeah, because we talked about how hot that blackout boyfriend was. But Taylor Swift, now that she's releasing 5 albums a year, she has the lengthy discography to give us a lot to talk about.
She really does. Let's do a quick moment for our sponsor before we jump into the video.
Let's give him a moment.
Give him a moment. I just got back from a trip to Spain, and it was a pretty stressful experience. Sitting on an airplane for 12 hours isn't fun for anyone, but they also lost my luggage on top of that. So needless to say, I was a little tense. It took me a while to unclench my jaw.
Yeah, not the best of habits, but no. I do know a lot of people develop bad habits in an attempt to relieve tension, like constantly chewing gum or sucking on candy or even like picking at your fingernails due to a need to fidget. Pretty much everyone I know has some sort of bad habit, and a lot of those bad habits are very hard to kick.
So that's why I wanted to tell you all about today's sponsor, Fume, the award-winning flavored air device that offers a different perspective on getting rid of bad habits. That maybe eliminating the bad from the habit is far easier than just quitting that habit cold turkey.
The flavored air category is quickly becoming the leading alternative to vaping and smoking, and Fume is the leader in that category. It is not a vape, so it uses no vapor, no combustion, no electronics, and best of all, no nicotine, so it is not addictive.
Instead, Fume uses passive diffusion to simply draw delicious, all-natural flavors into your mouth. Flavors like orange vanilla, crisp mint, cinnamon hearts, and white cranberry, all of which are non-toxic and guilt-free. In fact, Fume continuously invests in third-party studies to ensure the safety of their products and is backed by U.S. doctors.
Fume really fills the void ditching a bad habit can leave. That includes any oral fixation habits and even fidgeting habits, since each Fume device is kind of made to fidget with. It like twists and it clicks and it has these cool magnets and clicking sounds, so it's definitely something for you to reach for and play with if that helps you de-stress a bit. It keeps your fingers busy and it's weighted, so it kind of just feels nice to hold in your hand. I remember when I got my hands on one, I couldn't stop playing with it. We should do like an ASMR.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, you know.
So beautiful.
Ooh.
Oh, I love a magnet.
We love a magnet. Kind of like a musical instrument.
It's gorgeous.
Put this as the production in a song, a pop song.
Next song. It's going to have
song,
us all over
a
it.
Matt Palmer original.
I really love the sleek design. It has a great combination of both metal and wood, and you can even customize your Fume to your liking.
And it doesn't even use any batteries, so there is no charging needed. It is just a simple device. All you need is your Fume and a flavored core, and you've got some tasty air.
Fume has helped over 300,000 customers take the bad out of their bad habits. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, scan the QR code you see on the screen here or go to tryfume.com/2gaymats.
And for a limited time offer, you can actually use our code 2gaymats to get a free mouthpiece topper. It's a great chewable accessory to add to your Fume device that gives it a warm, soft sensation. So it definitely satisfies any oral fixation that you might have, or if you just want to like munch on a little something, you know?
So again, check out Fume by scanning the QR code on the screen or clicking the link in the info section and get a free topper by using our code 2GayMats.
And now, let's get back to the video, shall we?
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Yes. All right, we're back.
We're back.
Are you ready
I'm ready.
to dive into the Taylor Swift albums and see what boyfriend they would all represent?
These are all sweet boyfriends, I feel.
No, they start out sweet.
Yeah.
We're going to start in 2006. Self-titled.
Self-titled.
Big curly-haired Taylor Swift bursts onto the scene.
Ooh, with that font, that swirly font.
Very swirly font.
Yeah.
This, I would say, is the earliest you could have a boyfriend. This
Kindergarten. Kindergarten, you just learned how to write some words here and there, and you're like, I just want to write. I just want to write him a letter. I want to write him a note, and so you write, I love you, and put like little stickers on it.
Hey, I gave my like kindergarten girlfriend a Beanie Baby.
Oh,
so
a whole Beanie Baby?
a whole Beanie Baby.
Holy shit! I just wrote Amanda Mancino a bunch of little letters, and they were all so dramatic. They were just like, Amanda, I'm in love with you, but unfortunately, I'm moving tomorrow, which was a complete lie. But like, I just wanted to make them dramatic,
right? Which is very Taylor Swift.
It's
album
very
one.
And people look at your letters like later on, and you're just like, you know what? You were young when you wrote this, but like. You were spelling these. You were a good writer.
You're onto something.
Like,
the way you are expressing your love as a young child is going to evolve into something very special, very unique to you. You have the maturity of an older person, but just not quite the skill set. You know, you're still sharpening your tools.
I mean, self-titled, there is skill set there.
I said skill set. I mean, yes, there's
but it's just compared to the future letters you will write.
I mean, there are certainly, you know how I feel about I'm Only Me When I'm With You.
Oh, sure.
Excellent songs, but like, fewer and further between than there will be on literally every other. Well, the next album soon after.
And we can't forget Our Song.
I mean, that was when I was like, I was literally driving around with friends from high school and was like, guys, we need to listen to this girl.
Yeah.
Let me play you this song.
That song is the Beanie Baby. That you gave. That was not just a letter. That was a whole ass Beanie Baby.
It was a whole ass Beanie Baby.
Yeah. So I think that's a sweet boyfriend that you just remember fondly, and you're like, oh, remember me back then? Back then when we were trying to date girls in kindergarten or whatever.
That was very long ago.
Very long ago. We've evolved so much.
We really have.
Yes.
And Taylor evolved so quickly, straight into Fearless.
Oh, and Fearless is a flawless album.
A flawless album.
Flaw-free.
I would say this is your late high school boyfriend.
Yes.
And you know, not to be that guy, because a lot of times you shouldn't wind up with your late high school boyfriend. You should go out and date other people, see what they're like. But sometimes your high school boyfriend's the one.
Amanda Mancino's high school boyfriend was the one.
There you go.
Not her kindergarten boyfriend, but the high school boyfriend.
And because you look, I've gone through a lot of favorite Taylor Swift albums in my day and my time on this channel. But looking back now, song for song, this album is bulletproof. It literally is the one in a million, like, okay, every song on this record is good. Everything this high school boyfriend is saying to me comes true. We end up together. We have kids. We buy that big old house. We moved to Jersey, I bet. Is that where Amanda is?
Amanda's living in Jersey with her high school boyfriend, who's now her husband. We love.
We love.
He's a wonderful guy.
It's unlikely that someone's second album is as good as this and wins album of the year. I would say if it was the one, I wouldn't hate it.
This is the high school boyfriend who you end up marrying, who it's just like on the rare occasion that the high school boyfriend is the one.
And it's rare. If there are any high schoolers watching this in relationships thinking that your boyfriend's a Fearless, he's probably not.
But it's okay.
But it's okay, but maybe he is, but don't think, oh, every boyfriend's a Fearless, because every album's not going to win album of the year.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
I mean, most Taylor albums do, but I love the Fearless boyfriend. He's just good. It's just like, this works.
Yes.
This is like, you struck gold here.
It's true.
You know?
What do you think of the Speak Now boyfriend?
Speak Now is the first boyfriend who broke your heart. Like, it's not necessarily like your first boyfriend, but it's the one that really devastated you and turned you into the artist that you became.
Because that's also the breakup that always sticks with you. All the other ones will fade. Yeah. But the first one, you'll never forget.
Yeah, because I mean, the self-titled boyfriend, that was the one before you realized you were gay. Like how in Fearless, you end up marrying him, but Speak Now, ooh, you were in so deep. And like, he could have been so right, but then it went so wrong. Right. And it was his fault.
And also, I feel like with this relationship, you have something to prove.
Oh.
You're like, everyone thinks that I picked the wrong guys or that I do the wrong thing, and I'm going to make this relationship which probably should have ended. I'm going to make it work. Like, you're holding on for your life because Taylor walked into Speak Now sessions being like, you all think I can't write alone, and I will show you I can. She makes an excellent record, but it is a little bit more, it's a little messier.
Sure.
You know?
I always say, like, to me, the highs on Speak Now are higher than the highs on Fearless in terms of, like, how I relate to them emotionally.
Yes.
But there are some moments of Speak Now, just like here, like literally here and there,
Truly.
where it's kind of just like, we don't need the what's the about the baby?
Oh, never grow up. We definitely don't.
So, like, sometimes you're a little messy in this relationship, but, like, your heart is so in it. And it's a relationship you will never fucking forget. And I feel like it's the relationship that made you who you are.
Yeah. Red.
Ooh.
I know.
Obviously, like, this was the album where it was like, oh, are we transitioning out of country?
I think it's a boyfriend where it's like, okay, I'm a full-fledged adult.
Sure.
Like, as adult as, like, college or soon thereafter is, like, but it's like, we can go out and drink. You could almost cosplaying as a real adult. You're not quite there, but it's like, this guy makes you feel like, okay. Yeah. And not just because, you know, Jake was 10 years her senior, but whatever. This guy makes you feel like, okay, I'm going to be classy and drink wine and be a real person and, you know, jump in a cab and like live my life.
But I'm still young and fun.
I'm still young and fun. And I'm maybe putting on shoes I'm not quite ready to wear yet.
Sure.
But, you know, I'm going for it.
Yeah.
Full speed ahead, even if maybe I'm doing a little bit more than I should be doing.
Okay.
That's making sense.
I feel like this was for so long a really, really great relationship. You were really in it. Everyone really liked him and everything. But then there came a point where everyone was kind of just like, break up with him already. Break up with him already. We have said that we think like maybe like the last third of Red gets a little long. It's a very long album.
It is long.
Not as long as some Taylor albums, but it gets a little. It was her first album that went a little long.
Yes. And I know people don't, because a lot of people are like, Red's my favorite album. Red's my favorite Taylor album.
The highs on Red are so astronomically excellent. I mean, it has her best song on it,
the thing.
All Too Well.
Yes. So I understand that, but we all cannot forget everything after Holy Ground. Holy Ground is like 10.
It's something like that.
Nothing after that.
I like
is needed.
Begin Again. Fuck you.
Oh, Begin Again. I saw that was the second single on Red the other day, and I was like, oh!
It should not have been the second single.
Definitely
but
not.
Like, I think Begin Again is really great.
Okay.
So I think it ends on a little bit of a high. Not
Great.
second single high, but like
certainly not.
A bit of a high. Okay.
1989.
This is your coolest boyfriend.
He is the one that like up front everybody fucking wants.
Oh my God,
like,
you are dating a model.
You're dating a model who has the best personality, but it's like the best personality initially.
Okay.
Things like if you get to know him more, maybe there are some holes. But when you first meet him, you're getting fucking blank space, style, out of the woods. You are getting like, oh my God, how did you find this person? He is like a sparkler in human form. But then the more you're with him, he can't be that great all the time.
It's not so much that I think he's like necessarily like a bad boyfriend or wrong for you. To me, even though like he is a model, he has the shine, he has the sheen, the pictures of you together, everyone's liking them on Instagram and everyone's like, your boyfriend is so fucking hot. And like, nice guy, but a little personality less. Like, because my thing with 1989 is like, it is it is truly an excellent album. Like,
absolutely.
I'm nothing against the album and everything, but like compared to her other albums, there's not as much like personal storytelling in that album. It doesn't feel as like taken from Taylor's soul as like a Speak Now. So that is the only thing of 1989 that I feel is lacking a little bit, but like a good guy. A good guy, and you had fun, and like the relation, and like honestly, you were dating a model, so he catapulted you to like your highest clout that you've ever been. Because I feel like there is a difference between Taylor Red and Taylor 1989.
Oh,
like,
absolutely.
It is what shot her to the moon.
Yeah, no, this was a superstar making record that like everyone still cites to this day.
I don't think the 1989 boyfriend is a bad boyfriend in the slightest.
No, and I think maybe he's a bit more of a partier than you are deep down. Like more of like, I'm gonna go out every New Year's and like hang out with friends and dress up, and she's more extroverted when deep down maybe you're needing a little bit more of a thinker. You know?
A little bit more of a lover boyfriend, maybe.
Oh my God, of course you're gonna be like, he's the best! Reputation.
Okay. I guess you're going for a bad boy with this one.
Yeah, you're going for like an emo. What are emo people now? Because back in our day, it was emo. I don't know. I assume there are still guys out here who are just like, I'm dark, I'm brooding, everything's wrong. Just a little bit grungier.
Everything's wrong.
Everything's wrong.
Well, because the 1989 boyfriend was so polished and there's nothing wrong with him.
Right.
But you were kind of just like, was that boyfriend a little, where was the passion in that relationship? So you're just like, I want a relationship that is all passion. All passion. I'm going to go for the bad boy. And someone that really excites me when it's kind of just like, don't know if this is a match.
That's the thing. It's like, sure, this boyfriend is a person and a match for someone, but we've seen your previous boyfriends, babe.
This isn't what you want.
This isn't what you want. This is something that of the time, it made sense and it, healed something in you.
It's good to experience a boyfriend like this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
But you got to dump him.
But you got to dump him.
You
got to dump him and like wish him well.
Yes.
Maybe you still follow each other on Instagram and you're just like, I'm happy you're doing this.
Exactly. He'll find a more Avril Lavigne type
to
end up with. I mean, I'm going to give you the floor for lover.
I mean, I don't know if there's much of a floor. I think this is just you find the person that works the best with you in terms of like lifestyle. Maybe if you're looking for a guy who like doesn't drink or something,
right? And
you like find him, and it's just like, we live our lives the same way with each other. We could live in a household together. We have the same cleanup routine. We have the same schedule.
Right.
Everything just kind of aligns. And even though it's not the most exciting person,
right,
it's the person who I feel like you are so compatible with in terms of lifestyle. Where 1989 was like super cool, but like not the most like one that connected with you the most.
Right.
Whereas Reputation, you were going for that passion, but like lifestyle wise wasn't the biggest connection. I feel like Lover's just that nice little blend of just like, this works.
Yes.
This is me.
Very
this guy's for me.
Balanced relationship. And it's a relationship that like, instead of like in Red where you feel like, I'm trying to be this adult, by Lover, you actually are.
You're an adult.
And you can like mold your lives together and become a unit that makes sense for a long time.
Yeah, a long time.
A long time.
A long time. Maybe not forever, but a long time. It's even in the Lover title track music video. It's just her living in a house with the guy.
It's very...
And they're building the home together.
And it's a phrase a word that I think is honestly a little gross when people say it, but it's like the boyfriend that you nest with. It's like you move in together.
Ooh, I've never heard anyone.
Oh, people say it. It's like, oh yeah, we're just nesting.
I hate that.
But this is that. Folklore. Loves to camp. Loves to go to the woods. Very... a little... a different kind of grungy. It's not Reputation grungy, but it's almost like granola-y. It's like
granola-y.
It's very campfire. We're gonna keep our hands warm and like let's return to nature.
And he's like, hey babe, he doesn't talk much, but he says, hey babe, I just got inspired and I just wrote this poem.
It's very much
I woke up from a dream and I just and he reads it to you and you sort of discover something like beautiful within and you're just like, that's so sweet and you should continue to do that. But then like 3 days later he's like, hey babe, I got inspired again and I wrote another poem for you. And he reads you the other poem and you're like, that's great, it's wonderful that you write poetry and all that stuff. And then 3 days later it's like, I wrote another poem and it's like, oh God. But you like him, like he's sweet and wonderful, but like he keeps sending you poems.
He keeps sending you poems.
And they're like 3 lines.
And he keeps dragging you to campsites. It's like, bitch, I want to go home. You want to be in the campsites. You want to be somewhere that's maybe you want to go to the Grand Canyon.
Yeah.
Hear your voice echo and echo and echo.
Yeah.
And for me, I don't need that.
No.
I want to be in a room.
It's like at first you're just like, this is different. And I'm
it's
like
different.
Into it. Like there's a sensitivity to him. There's like an earnestness to him.
And it's for some people.
But then you eventually start going like, I'm tired. It's all earnest.
I'm sick of the poems. I'm sick of the
woods.
woods.
I'm sick of the woods. I need to go back out to civilization. And so you break up with him. But then you realize you miss him, and you take him back. And part 2 of that relationship is Evermore.
It is. This is very Merry Christmas to You.
Yeah.
Where it's like kind of the same relationship, but a little worse because you don't. You don't have the beginning like, this is so exciting.
This is so unique.
Yes. What a new flavor. You're kind of just like,
oh, more.
So you're kind of trying to revive this thing that maybe we should have let lie.
Yeah, like nice.
Nice.
Perfectly nice, and I'm happy you did it.
And for some people. Okay.
Okay.
Midnights.
Midnights is a good relationship.
Yes.
But it is, I feel, also you being a little lonely and you're kind of just like, I just want a boyfriend.
You kind of are remembering your old relationships of the past and like being like, this is close enough. This is good enough. Let's go with this. And there are moments of brilliance.
Yes, and you're just like, oh, this is great.
There are moments of you're on your own.
But I feel like it's the relationship where, like, when you're in it, you realize moments that are like, oh, I do like him.
Yes.
I do like him. I do like him. But I feel like you went into it not excited.
Right.
Like you went into it just being like, yeah, I'll date you.
Yeah.
You know,
this is fine for now.
Which is totally fine.
Of course.
You know, you can release an album with just being like, hey, I got some songs, go for it.
Right.
But you didn't need this boyfriend.
No.
You didn't like find each other and you were just like, I can't imagine my life without you.
And it wasn't like, oh, we're breaking new ground. Like, this is a new type of man who's like opening up a new part of me. It's just kind of like, yes, this has worked in the past. I'm sick of the poems in the woods.
You enjoy hanging out with his friends.
Yeah.
And everything.
It's comfortable.
I don't know.
It's just like, are you excited about this?
Are you excited about this guy?
And then the tortured poets department.
Huh.
Yeah. It's a long relationship.
It's
it is.
It's truly like a marriage. It's a marriage.
It's a marriage. And the thing
there's
about
ups and downs.
That's the thing. The thing that I hear about marriage, I'm an unmarried man, but what I hear is you have good years and you have bad years.
Yeah.
There are some years where it's like, wow, firing on all cylinders. I feel more like me than I've ever felt. And some years where you're like, I can't stand this bitch. It lasts a long time.
Yeah. There's depth here.
There's
because
depth.
the thing that's great about Tortured Poets Department is that unlike Midnights where it's like you feel the need for her to put out a lot of these songs.
Yes.
She's just like, these are songs that like, for whatever reason, I did not put out when I was with Joe. But like, I need to put these out.
Yes.
And Maddie Healy, just like, I need to say what I need to say in so many parts of this album.
Right.
But there's a lot being said.
A lot.
A lot. It suddenly went from a 16-track album to a 31-track album.
It's a marriage story.
It's a marriage story where, like, even if there are lows, there's still depth here. There's still, like, experience with whoever we're singing about or whoever we're married to. You
Absolutely.
know? So yeah, Tortured Poets Department is your hubby.
Of the
Hubby.
boyfriends,
Hubby.
which boyfriend would you be dating? Which boyfriend would you be with?
Who would I be with?
Yeah.
I mean, I guess Lover's the most appealing because it's like, this one works so well. But like, sometimes I want a 1989. Sometimes I want a hot guy. But sometimes I do fall for a Folklore boyfriend where I'm just like, oh.
Well, I'm married to my high school boyfriend, and we are living a wonderful life.
Oh,
you
want that?
I do want
that.
Oh. I think if we're going through her discography,
well, you feel so high school.
I don't need that.
Okay.
But I want Fearless, and I'm so glad that Taylor had it with Fearless and has so many diamonds and no rough in her discography.
Sure.
Yeah. A talented lady, a wonderful artist.
And it's nice. It's like she's so lucky that she's able to put out all of these albums so that we can make a long, complex video just like this one.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So guys, tell us below what you think of our analysis. If Taylor Swift's albums were your boyfriends, which boyfriend would you pick? And also, if you have different interpretations of them as boyfriends, please tell us in the comments below. Also, follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Matt Palmer Music.
And it's Matt Steele.
And at 2 Gay Mats for both of us. We have a podcast that comes out every Monday wherever you get your podcast. It's also called 2 Gay Mats. We also record that podcast every Sunday night at 6:30 live on YouTube. If you really enjoy us, go to patreon.com/2gaymats where you can get extra bonus content from us very regularly. You can join the Discord with us and chat with us and other friends you haven't met yet all the live long day. And Matt Steele.
Oh, yes.
Who do we need to give shout outs to?
We need to give a shout out to our legendary patrons whose wonderful names are listed in my phone. And their names are Matthew Tash, Bradley, Brandon, Michael, Jen, Jacob, Matthew, Dallas, Eric, Maxwell, Sam, Simon, Amanda, Armando, Celeste, Heather, and Dr. Woods.
And all of you, thank you so much for watching. We'll be back soon with more 2 Gay Mats.
Bye.
Bye.